Hey everyone, this is Near at CND, and I'm here with a good friend of mine, A's. They are basically a hidden gem, and as far as I'm concerned, within the wider GM community. I think they have a lot to teach people and a lot of cool, unique perspective on their version of DMing, GMing, whatever, what you will. And yeah, it's no small thing to say that if there was no A's, there probably wouldn't be no Near at CND or start playing pro stuff and any of that. So we're gonna pick their brain a little bit and see if we can learn something, have some fun, have some laughs, maybe something in between. We'll figure it out. How is your day been, A's?
A lot of credit.
Don't worry, if it doesn't live up to it, we'll just cut that part out. That really emotional, nice part, we'll just cut it out.
No, look at it out. It was lovely.
So yeah, how's your day been so far? Besides the 1 hour of waiting for me to figure out how my technology works.
Hey, I've never been on time for anything in my life, so you're completely fine. My day's been great, thank you. How about yours?
Mine started like 90 minutes ago. I was like, okay, I gotta get ready for this. So
Alright, it's morning there.
Yes. All right. Let's pull up to the questions so we don't shoot the breeze for 3 hours. Okay, this is how it's gonna work. And I'll add fancy effects and stuff right now, but of course you're DM. You understand it's all about imagination and whatnot. So you're fighting.
Production value, honey.
So the interview has 10 hit points, okay? If you decline a question, you get a failure. 3 failures, like a death save. A death failure means if you get 3 of those, you lose the interview. I haven't really thought about any consequences. We'll just,
how does that relate to the 10 hit points, though? It's like when I answer 10 questions, I have killed you? Is that it?
Yeah, you've killed me. I died, and then you can have the channel. It's yours.
Okay. Well... Near-Ed's viewers, get ready for your new host, baby.
Yeah. I appreciate you doing the beta testing of the interview format. So very, very, very much thanks to you. So basically, we're gonna go Scout's Honor. So you're gonna roll D20, and whatever question lands on.
You trust me with your character's life? You're not gonna trust me with a 10-question interview?
I think you don't know what's okay. So generally speaking, the closer it is to 1. The more like negative or like something that you would want to keep in your closet sort of question, and the closer it is to 20, it's more something you would say during an interview or a resume, a proud thing you would say during to anyone basically.
Well, I haven't been in the closet for 10 years or so.
Right. So okay, we'll get it started whenever you want to roll. I'll look at my handy dandy table and ask you the question.
Okay, which one of you guys is gonna make me happy today? So we're doing my little flower die.
Oh, you're giving us like you're gonna show us the dice, tell us a little bit about it, like it's a wine bottle, and then roll it. Yeah.
I mean, I don't have to tell you about it. I'm just showing you which one I'm using.
I love the theatrics.
If you want to know about it, I'll tell you. Okay, that is a 12.
Okay, a 12. Okay, this is a good icebreaker warm-up question.
Yeah.
What's your favorite monster? By monster we mean like enemy stat block, so it could be a humanoid.
Okay, so are we talking my favorite regardless of anything, or my favorite?
Okay, so you're saying like to fight against, or like the third item against your players?
Yeah, like what's my favorite to use? What's my favorite just in general for like my warm and fuzzies? Like,
I guess that question is too open-ended because I figure you take it where you want to take it.
Okay, I'll give you my 2 favorites then.
Oh, I get 2. Okay.
Yeah, my favorite of just like D&D aesthetic, like classic, love it forever. Whenever I see it, it makes me happy. It's the gelatinous cube.
Oh, it's a classic. I love it.
I just love it so much. Like whenever I see it, even if it's, my character just walked into it and is now getting melted, I am just so happy whenever I see a gelatinous cube. I think they're so much fun.
I've never seen one in play, and I think it's because of the legacy. Like people just expect it too much. There's
it's the same like with dragons and mimics and things like that, which are just amazing monsters that you are right, people don't use so much. But yeah, so if you were like my favorite D&D monster period, gelatinous cube, 100%. My favorite as a DM from like appreciating the craft and aesthetic and stat block and things that go into it would be the Sorrowsworn. Like all of them.
Sorrowsworn. Okay, I'll have to pop up on on the screen. But
if you're gonna Google this, people, content warning, they look freaky as hell.
Sorrowsworn. This is an official monster?
Yeah.
Oh, they're monstrosities. No, these are really fucked up. They're like super zombies.
They are based off of negative emotions, and they like personalize different negative emotions, and their stat block reflects the emotion that they're personalizing, so they act accordingly. Which I think design-wise, they are fantastic. I just love them. I'm obsessed with everything about the design of those.
Yeah, and they really like Grimdark and
Like the
whatnot.
way you fight them really ties into that. So it's not just like a smash and bash monster. You have to really think about how you're fighting them.
That's solid. Yeah, I love these. Yeah. Really good answer. Well done. Okay, you have
you.
slain the interview by 1 hit point. It has 9 hit points remaining.
You're going down, man.
Okay, that's an easy one. We'll see. We'll see if they get easier or harder. Maybe we'll breeze through it, or I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, let's get that next dice roll.
I'm gonna rotate them out. Why not?
Sure.
Okay, let's see if my lucky little guys will make me happy today. That's a 14. Okay, we're inching up. We're slowly
Inching
but
up.
steadily inching up.
What's your favorite like PC that you ever GM for? So it can't be one of your own.
So it cannot be one of my own?
It can't be a PC you've created, like a player at a table whose character you really like.
Oh, listen, GMs, like parents, don't have favorites, okay? So...
Really?
Yeah.
Is that an honest answer?
It is, I think.
Okay.
Because I love all my... I love all my players equally. Like, obviously, I relate to some more than others, but in general, I love what they do and, like, what they bring to the table, and because every player brings, like, a different thing, right? So you can say, oh, this person is my favorite because this person brings something to the table, but then you're missing out on what all the other people bring to the table. What I can tell you instead is my favorite type of player that
Okay.
I like to have at my tables.
Perfect.
I like people who are creative and who aren't afraid to like come up with crazy solutions and ideas in the heat of the moment, and who aren't afraid to ask me for things that aren't necessarily in the rules just because it's fun or makes sense in the moment or is cool. But above all, I like people who are like respectful and welcoming to others and who work well as a team and as a group.
Okay, that's a pretty solid answer. Yeah, it plays within the group, the tempo, and all that. Yeah. I guess I can ask this as a follow-up because this isn't on the table, spoilers. But is there like an antithesis to that? The worst kind of player at the table? I mean, we'll have that guy, the horror stories and that stuff. But anything in between that you particularly like, people wouldn't think to be a bad habit?
For me, players who are selfish, like players who make the whole thing about them when D&D is like, it's always a group thing, right? You succeed or fail as a group. So players who don't give other players something to grab onto, or even the GM, like if I'm trying to give you like a cue or something for you to pick up and develop on and you just shut me down, then how do we move forward?
Yeah.
You know?
No, yes, and okay. Yeah, that's something I wouldn't expect.
Yes, and exactly.
Yeah, you gotta be moving the ball forward and like pass the ball around the imagination ball, the storytelling ball. That makes complete sense. Another knock off the park. 8 points left. The interview is slashed tatters and whatnot. You can do the pros. I don't know.
It's not somehow like I don't know. I feel bad. I'm just like railing on you.
So, yeah, let's get another dice roll. What's our dice?
Okay.
What's our next dice?
Okay, so this is a stone die. It's made
I like
of
that
a
one.
mineral called labradorite, and depending on how the light hits it, it changes colors and stuff.
Sure.
So let's see how you do. Yeah, why have you done this to me? Okay, this is an 8.
Okay, this is a fun one.
Okay.
This is a sort of fill in the blank. My D&D hot take is, what is your D&D hot take?
I don't know if it's a hot because I don't follow the hot takes, but I guess this is my hot take. So my hot take is, if you are the type of DM who bans features and spells and classes and those kinds of things, you shouldn't be sitting your ass down behind a GM screen.
Really? You don't like GMs who ban specific like silvery barbs? Or are we talking about features?
Yeah, we're talking about those kinds of things, but if it's something that doesn't fit within like the aesthetic of the setting that you're playing in, so let's say that you're playing a really like low fantasy thing, maybe you don't want Warforged because they're really like high-tech stuff. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay? If you don't allow your druid to wild shape, fuck you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Got it. Okay.
Like, if it's something that makes sense for the world building and stuff, you're the GM, it's your table, you decide what's okay and what's not okay for you. If it's just like, oh, my players are too powerful, I don't know what to do with them, get better.
Well, it's a hot take for a reason. There's no point. It's controversial. Maybe people would disagree, and we could probably talk about that for a full interview.
I'm fully aware that this is a hot take, and there are people who are like, no X at my table. But honestly, the reason why I feel so strongly about this is because having to adapt to the stupid, crazy stuff that my players have pulled on me over the years that have made me like stare at my screen for a solid 10 seconds being like, why though? Like having to deal with those things and things that like it never would have occurred to me that they could, never mind pull, it has made me better. Having to adapt each and every time that I have had to yes and some person who was like suggested the most crazy, idiotic, but impressively clever thing that I had never seen before in my career to that moment, every time I had to deal with that, I've become better. And so can you.
Oh, okay. So it's okay. It's training that muscle. Yeah. Get it?
Like your players dedicate their entire player career to their character sheet. They know exactly everything that their characters can do, and that is the only thing they need to know. They are experts in their character sheets. They know exactly what they can pull on you, and they will, because that's their job. And your job as a DM is to take it and figure out a way to fight back.
Yeah, I love that. Well, I asked for a hot take and you gave me a hot take. So that I can't really ask for much more than that. I'm sorry to say that you're doing really well so far. So that's another down, 7 hit points left. And let's get that dice roll again. I love that, by the way.
Okay. What was the answer?
Yeah, the answer, not only that, like the resolution to it, like you explained it in about how players are their own world within their sheet and that sort of stuff. It was really nice.
So metal die. Love them. I love metal
dice. That's the only one I have. Yeah, I have the metal dice set.
They are so cool.
Love that.
They're so satisfying to roll and make the most satisfying sounds. This particular set is really difficult to read. Nat 20. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, a nat 20. Okay. I don't see it, but I'll take your word for it, of course. What would you say is your proudest moment as a GM?
Oh man, that's hard. I think GMs, we all feed on praise like air to breathe. But at the same time, I think we are all our own worst critics. We never think we are as good as people think we are. Mm-hmm. So my proudest moment as a GM,
I think it's because we're on the seat, so we know we're bumbling and fumbling through this. But to the other people, if you sell it right, it looks like you're just you're cool, you're fine. But you're just there's a train wreck and sit there. Yeah.
Sometimes I go to my players after the session. They're like, "Oh my god, I had so much fun! It was so great!" And I was like, "What do you mean it was so great? I could barely string 2 thoughts together. What are you talking about?" But you're right. They don't notice. Only we do. I would say my proudest GM moment. It's not game related necessarily.
Okay.
But my players have always told me that it's really nice to sit at my tables. That they feel very welcome and safe and free to be themselves and to express themselves and to have their creativity respected and encouraged. And that's kind of why I got into this. It makes me really proud that my tables are a place where people can come and feel welcome and be themselves.
Yeah, I mean, player comfort is step number 1. A lot of people skip that step, unfortunately.
Yeah, there are a lot of, like you said, the GM horror stories that my players are always threatening people.
Oh yeah, 100%, yeah.
We're gonna write you up. There's a lot of tables out there that have made people feel unsafe or like their truest self wasn't being accepted and that kind of thing. And all I ever want is to create a place where the opposite is true, where people can feel like themselves and be okay. So when people tell me that I've achieved that, it makes me really proud.
Yeah, especially because, I don't know, people realize how vulnerable you are, especially when you're new and you're role-playing and stuff. You're really putting yourself out there.
To have a good story together and to do good roleplay, you need to be able to be vulnerable. Mm-hmm. And for you to be able to be vulnerable, you need to be able to trust that the people you're with are not going to use that to hurt you in some way. So it takes a lot of trust to get a good table going. And I definitely value that a lot. And I don't take it lightly.
Well, again, you're doing too good. Again, that's 4 down, 6 questions to go. You should stop rolling so damn high is what's going on. Do you have an unlucky dice? Maybe that should be your next one. I don't know if you have one.
Yeah, I'm looking. Hang on.
Okay.
Which are the ones that I would not trust my life in a roll?
Yeah, I'm sad to say this interview is going really well.
Oh, these ones. I hate these ones. They were a gift from my very first GM, but they roll like crap,
They're
so
cursed.
I never use them.
All right, gotcha.
Yeah, as predicted, that's a 3.
That's a 3. Okay. Well, yeah,
See?
they weren't the right dice for you. Yeah. But I was thinking about like, okay, your GM gave you the cursed dice.
I mean, I kept the ones my GM gave me for like sentimental purposes, but I don't use them because of the reason they just witnessed.
Right. And it's a 3, right?
Yeah, it was a 3.
Okay, what's one moment you prepped for that totally backfired? Like an overtuned combat or a plot twist, plot reveal gone wrong?
That happened actually really recently.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
Yeah, like 2 sessions ago. Or at
Okay.
least, I mean, it certainly happened more than once.
Right.
But this is like the most recent example of that. So my players of the campaign I'm currently DMing went fighting some night hags. And I knew it was going to be like iffy because, there's 3 of them, they're linked up, they're covened up.
Okay,
but
there's
I
3 night
didn't-
hags. Okay.
Yeah, 3 night hags, so a coven. Because they need 3 or more to like link up and make a coven.
Didn't know that.
And so there's 3 of them. Night hags are bad enough, so I didn't mess with the HP. I didn't mess with the battle route. I didn't do anything at all to like give my players extra disadvantage beyond just like the thing. And I always say that I'm really bad with spellcasting monsters because like it's a lot. Like I was saying before, players are experts on their own character sheets and they know all of their spells and they read them and they're like, oh, this is what I'm gonna do. But like, you have a spell list, you also have the initiative and all the other monsters and the narration and the keeping things
Yeah.
going and the music and
Yeah.
so it was like, I can't just sit down and read this whole spells, And so I thought, okay, they're gonna be fine. I'm a siege monster type DM. These are spellcasting monsters. I will suck at this, and they will roll them over, but they're still an attack, so it will still be challenging. They rolled so shit. The second half of is it okay to swear? Oh,
Yeah, it's
I
fine.
didn't
We've
even
been
ask-
swearing. We've been swearing this whole time. Keep
Okay.
going.
So yeah, they rolled so shit the second half of that combat that all of a sudden they were winning, right? And all of a sudden I am facing down a TPK.
Oh no.
It was so stressful. They didn't actually TPK. They're fine. They're all
Did
fine.
they
No one
get
died.
close? No. Okay. So okay. It wasn't bad. It was like okay. They turned the corner.
No one died. Yeah, they were able to turn it around, but it like my heart was like squeezing in my chest. It's like no. Oh shit. But they were able to turn it around. But it was really, and it was all down to the Wheel of Fortune goes round and round,
Yeah.
And because the first half of that fight, they were dominating. They were like resisting everything. They were landing. Like there was this smite that did upwards of 80 damage in one attack. It
Nice.
was actually, I thought this was going to be challenging, and it looks like they're going to roll over my night hags. Yeah, this is fine, I guess. And then it just turned around, and I started winning, and I was like, okay, I'm having fun now. And then I start winning more, and I'm like, oh no, I'm not supposed to win. I'm
having too much fun. Yeah.
It wasn't even that.
Writing that
'cause,
line.
Yeah, there was like that perfect balancing point where neither of us was winning too much, and we were, equally annoyed at one another, and it was perfect. And then I started winning too much because their rolls started being too bad, and I fully started going like on a stress spiral. I was looking at my screen like,
But I'm glad they turned it around. Have you ever had a
Yeah, they
TPK?
did. Not a TPK. I usually DM for 5 players. That's my usual party composition. I will do like 3 to 5, but my usual is 5.
Gotcha.
I had an encounter where 2 people survived.
Okay. Wow. And it started as 5.
Yeah, they started as 5, and 2 made it out.
And were the other players cool, like rolling up new characters and all that stuff? They're really good sports, or a little bit of like,
We always talk about it in session 0, like, are you okay with PC death? In what circumstances are you okay with PC death? Etc., etc.
Mhm.
So they were fine with it, but if they hadn't been, I wouldn't have done it, of course.
Well, yeah, great answer there. Again, knocking it out, which leaves us with 5 questions remaining.
Well, are you going to get like a second win into you?
I don't know. I think I have to make harder questions. I think you're proving to me.
I
They're
mean,
like-
what are you trying to get out of this? Like,
I thought it'd be harder to pull people's like bad moments of GMing, but you have no shame. You bring it out, your successes and your failures.
Oh wait, yeah, I have no shame, obviously.
No.
Maybe you should. Maybe it's not about the questions. It's more about the subject.
Oh, for sure, 100%. Yeah. I totally agree. Yeah, let's do another question, and then we can take like a quick break. Bio break.
Though to that point, just before we move on, I do want to say like the reason why, like, I'm not proud of my failures necessarily, but the reason why they exist is for you to learn from them. Every time that I messed up as a GM and that I did something that I shouldn't have, I learned, Yeah. Next time that I put my players against something I think for sure they will be like okay against, I will pay more attention to things. Maybe I won't get so caught up in the cool things that the monster can do that I will forget to pay attention to like how things are going until it took a turn.
Yeah. Anything you've said during your story, I'm guilty of in my own version. So I am not looking. I'm looking right across from you. Wonderful. All right, let's. What's the next dice that we're going to be seeing in action?
These are my very favorite die. They are black metal, and then they have like this inclusion of red glitter in them.
Yeah.
And they are so heavy. They're like the chunkiest boys.
It's like when you see a rock with like a piece of ore through it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what they remind me of.
Mm-hmm.
And these are for my Tiefling Paladin, who is also one of my favorite characters. So let's see. Unfortunately, they don't roll very well. This is a 4.
Okay. Well, no duplicates yet. So what's for number 4? It's supposed to mean like a moment or maybe a specific role, but like the most fudging you've done or the biggest fudging you've done for a moment or a role or situation.
I mean, I don't want my players, if they ever see this, to know. Like,
players of A's. Skip this question.
I don't fudge dice, never ever. No, I would never do that.
Of course not.
Okay, so guys, if you ever watch this, remember that we played this campaign years ago. It's been a long time. It doesn't matter anymore.
It's gone. If it's done, it's done. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was Descending to Avernus, and I will try to outline the situation without spoilering anything.
Do what you gotta do.
But basically, it was this sort of like race against time situation where they all meet, and it's like very close to the end of the adventure, like 3 or 4 sessions from the end of the thing. So it was sort of like this race against time type situation where like it's like the Indiana Jones-esque thing where like the temple is collapsing against and like bad guys are chasing and like all that stuff. You gotta like run.
Classic adventure.
Right there. And it's like opening, you like gotta get through. And so it had been a very difficult battle at that point. So they were all pretty close to down, like low on resources, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
The door is like closing. A few of them like make it through. And one of them is behind. I don't remember why. I think he fell prone at some point. And I was chasing them with this giant, siege monster type thing. Like this absolute horrifying thing. Like both love it and hate it because design, amazing. Execution,
official?
Horrifying.
It's an official monster?
It's an official monster for the adventure itself that only shows up in that part of the adventure.
Okay.
And that thing is a horror. It's very spoilery.
Okay. All right. No pictures this time.
But yeah, so I'm chasing them with this horrible thing. And there's this one person like left behind, shit on HP, siege monster, right? I hit with like a claw or whatever, and I roll an at 20. And again, siege monster. Usually really high numbers, right? The damage was enough to like kill that PC.
Outright. Okay,
Completely
wow.
Outright. Yeah, outright kill. Because they were already low on HP, and this was a warlock. Didn't have a whole lot to begin with, and was already down, and this monster was like really beefy. And I look at that stuff, and this is why I believe in rolling behind the screen. I look at that, and I'm like, I'm going to kill this PC right here, right now, and then they're gonna have to roll up a new character 3 sessions from the end of the story. After all of this time that they spent like investing in their character and like it would have been a good story death. Like I think he would have been happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, who wants to roll up a new character 3 sessions before the end of the adventure?
The connection. Yeah.
It's just like Yeah, so, oh no, that missed. Oopsies.
A nat
Wow,
20
you
to
are
a nat
so
1.
lucky. You are so lucky. That fully missed. What a shame.
Yeah, that's a really good fudge. It's a really good reason to fudge, yeah. Nothing petty or
That's
nothing like
usually
that.
the only reason why I fudge. I never fudge to advantage myself. I only ever fudge to save my players from things that would be shitty.
Yeah, I can say I personally ignored a nat 20 on my side of the screen, more than once for sure. Yeah, so yeah, that's a great reason. I love it.
Everything about playing D&D together is a contract of trust, right? Your players trust you when you tell them that hit, that missed, that you're telling the truth. So I take that very seriously, and again, I only fudge in world-ending type circumstances like this.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, you gotta have your credibility. Otherwise, it's like, okay, what are you rolling behind the screen? So thank you for confiding that with us, and for the players that I'm sure skipped this
Sorry,
question.
guys.
There's the official apology over there. Yeah, I forgot how screens work. Okay, and we're back. So yeah, looks like the interview currently has 4 hit points remaining, potentially 4. I think we're going to see just a streak of 10 because you seem pretty like an open book. But you're welcome to say no to 3 more things.
Maybe I was saving them for the end.
Yeah, maybe it could be worth it. And if you don't use any, that's fine too. Don't feel like you have to be pressured to play the game, sort of thing. So yeah, whenever you're ready, let's get another dice roll.
Yeah, let's see which one of you next. I was like, do I have enough dice to like roll a different one for every question? And yes, I do.
Okay, yeah, I was worried about that.
I fully do. Okay, here you go. Red guarded class.
Okay, 7. Oh, you're showing me. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, I'm showing you. It's a 10. I was very skeptical about glass dice because, they're made of glass. But the way they catch the light is just amazing.
Yeah, I like the little transparency. This question actually might be really hard for you, because the way I've seen is that you're not really in the scene, or like, do you watch D&D YouTubers or anything like that, or like D&D celebrities, GM celebrities?
I watch. Like, can I say which ones I watch, or is this like
it's not like competition? Yeah.
No, it's just like I don't know if it's okay to like mention them on someone else's channel or something. Like I don't know the rules.
Unless you're gonna like shit talk them, that you probably of course.
No. I mean, I watch a lot of, well, not a lot of. I watch a few live streams, but in terms of like GM channels, the only one I actually watch is Jenny D. I really like her, and I think we have really similar styles. So I think her videos are super useful and nice.
Yeah, I like her videos.
But other than that, yeah, I only watch her, so I do not know anything about it. Yeah.
Well, then this might be a very easy question. For number 10, if I could be at anyone's table for a game as a player, it would be and why?
Oh, super easy question actually, because Brandon Lee Mulligan.
Okay,
He is my idol. Like I aspire to be half as good a GM as he is someday when I grow up. I think he is fantastic and his style is fantastic, and I have learned so much from watching him. If I could sit at his table, I would, 100%.
Yeah.
My second choice would be Bria Iyengar, because a lot of the same reasons. I think she's a fantastic GM.
Okay, I guess I don't know who that is.
Be emotionally tormented by her. The first time I saw her was actually when she GM'd the Critical Role for Exandria Unlimited, but I have then seen her as a player and like several other things, and she is fantastic as a player, but as a GM, I think she is spectacular.
I haven't gotten super familiar with it, but I've seen her popping up in like the thumbnail covers of a lot of GM advice videos, so I think you're onto something for sure.
He is really good at, which is something I also really admire about Brandon Lee Mulligan. They are both very good at ending so much that the players end up being like, wait, this is not like, can we have this? And they're like, of course you can. And then they like twist it around to actually be a thing that is challenging. It's not monkey's paw in a way that like, I will screw you over, but it's something that forces players to think about the consequences of the things that they want and the consequences of their actions. Like they never like, gotcha, but it's like, okay, so here's the thing that you want, and here are also the unintended and thought consequences of the thing that you want that you didn't think about because you were just trying to be funny. So here is that, now deal with it. What if, like, a dragon fell from the sky right now. Ha 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 ha. And they're like, okay, a dragon falls from the sky and now starts. It helps you in your battle, but when the battle is done, the dragon is still not satisfied and starts burning the village. What now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's fun. Okay.
Like it's things that still make sense within what was asked for, but again, things that people didn't think about when they flippantly asked for them. You know? Yes, it's one of my favorite things about them because as a player, and this may be another hot take, I don't know. I think as D&D players, we all like to suffer a little bit. It's like, yeah, like hurt me harder, please. And when GMs hurt you with things that you specifically gave them, it feels like love in a way.
When you work together
like,
to bring change.
Here's this piece of my backstory or like an idea I had, or like, here's a piece of my mind and my creativity and my imagination that I'm handing over to you and trusting you to do something cool with it. And so when the DM takes that and does something cool with it, you're like, I love this, even though my character is really suffering right now. You know what I mean?
It's weird to explain it, but you're completely 100% right. Yeah, it's like on the spot. Yeah.
Yeah, I think people will understand. I hope. I never
put words to that like hidden understanding. But yeah, you're 100% right. Yeah. Well, that was an incredible answer. Whenever you're ready, let's get another dice roll. It's 3 fingers. Oh, wait, let's see. Oh, I like that blue shade. Oh, it catches the light a little bit.
Yeah, this is Blue Tiger's Eye. It's actually a gemstone, like a minor gemstone, obviously, but okay. Girl, why you do this to me? That was a nat 1.
Yay!
We've run the gamut. Like,
so
you guys, half of you are going to dice jail. I hope you understand.
This is great. We got a nat 20 and a nat 1 in a single interview.
Yeah.
This is
okay, so what's your nat 1 question?
Well, I hope it lives up to the hype. What's the worst thing you've done to someone's character?
Ooh, that's a hard one because, to quote a Briangar, the easiest place you can hit a PC is their hit points. So killing them, nowhere near the worst thing I've done to a PC. I have done a lot of things to a PC.
You're like, which one do I pick?
Yeah, it's kind of like...
I think I had the opposite problem looking at my code.
No, you have to understand that, again, my players are gluttons for punishment on an abysmal level. Like, whenever I pull something, they're like, yes, do worse. So I have to constantly be thinking of, like, worse things to do to their characters. I think the worst thing that I've done to PC specific, like, the player loved it, but that I've done to their PC was when we were doing character creation. We were talking about like, hey, like, what kind of character do you want to be? And I was like giving them like a briefing of the world that we were going to play in and whatnot. And they were like, okay, my character is an orphan and doesn't know who their parents are. And I was like, okay,
this is going.
Can I do things with that? And they were like, yeah, okay, sure, no problem. I'm like, okay. So campaign goes on, and at the time when they made their character, I noticed that the character really resembled one of the BBG's like villains, but like one of their like inner
just
circle
like the token
villains.
Art?
Yeah.
Oh,
like the token art that they gave me.
Oh, okay.
Really resembled the art for that particular NPC, and they were actually like of the same race or like compatible. So I was like, what if took this person who wants to be an orphan and doesn't know who their parents are, who looks a lot like this villain over here, and I made them related. So I did. Over the course of a part of the campaign, that character really developed like a really antagonistic relationship with that other character. So when it came about...
Oh, they didn't connect it. So like you played it very like safe and like, okay, gotcha.
I didn't say anything. I never say anything. Okay. I don't like the "I am your father" thing
okay.
Because it's a lot more fun when the players figure it out for themselves. The shock and awe, and the slow realization, and like, so yeah. When she realized it, she was like, no. And then I did worse.
Oh, okay.
Because that character also doesn't know who their mom is, right?
Okay, 2 parents, yeah.
During the campaign, there was also a different NPC that, over the course of the game, she established a really antagonistic relationship with, who was also a family member. Like, she was adopted by this character, and that character had a sister who was like the mean aunt, whatever.
Okay.
And at one point, the PC was like, so do you know who my character's mom is? And I was like, I don't. But if you asked me, clearly you must want to make this a thing at some point, so I have to come up with an answer. If I just make up some character who's already dead, or like has no relevance to the story whatsoever, this won't really matter. It will be the same as like never finding out who their mom is at all, because this is a character who like does not matter. Mm-hmm. The aunt character that I mentioned had recently died because the players failed to stop a thing that happened.
Okay.
So the entire city rioted and that character died. And I was like, what if this really antagonistic character that you never really got like a resolution on, and that you indirectly contributed to the demise of, was also your biological mother? And so I did that.
How did they find out? How, did you just told them, or?
They asked the father character.
Oh.
Yeah, they went to like the BBAG's lair, and that character, like the father of the PC, was the one who like received them. And as they were leaving, she was like, hey, like, who's my mother? And he said, do you really want to know? And she said yes, because she always says yes, which is something I really love about her.
No.
She never, like, whenever I dangle something in front of her, she's always like, yes, give it to me. So yeah, she's like, yeah, I want to know. And I was like, okay, it's this person. And she like, there was silence. There was full-on silence. And it was fantastic.
I'm sure the player loved it.
She loved it so much. She was like, I can't believe you did this to me, you asshole. Oh my god, this is so cool. But yeah, she loved, but at the time, you know, shock and awe. It was amazing.
Well,
but it was also the worst thing I ever.
That was fucked up. That's pretty fucked up. I'm not gonna lie. Jeez.
So fucked up. It was so fucked up. I was like, I am going to hell for this. But I did it anyway. And we all liked it.
They loved it, yeah. The character is suffering, but the audience loved it.
But like, I still feel pretty bad about it.
Well, that's a great answer. Thank you very much for that. I think we have two hit points left potentially. But whenever you're ready, we'll send it.
This is by far my prettiest die, but it's also so small, so I don't pull it a lot. Full on.
Oh,
glass.
Wow! It's like full prismatic. Yeah.
It's called like heroic glass, and it just like catches the light in the coolest ways. And it rolled good for me. That's a 17.
No duplicates yet. Still keeping that strong. Okay. Another potential softball. 17. If you could give one piece of advice to fellow GMs of all experiences, what would it be?
I would say, don't sweat it too much. And like, oh, it sounds easy, right? Like, you do this for a living. I'm sure it's fine for you. No, I panic before each and every session, just like each and every one of you do, I'm sure. But I think as GMs, we tend to fall into the trap of like prepping too much, or like prepping too little and feeling bad about ourselves about it, or like being so nervous about what your players are going to think or do, or this or that. And what I have learned in my 5 years of experience as a GM is that if you're enjoying yourself and if you're loving what you're doing, your players will too, because it shows in your enthusiasm and in your care and in your love for what you're doing. And even if it isn't perfect, if you're loving it and if you're having fun with it, you will still enjoy it if it's not perfect, and so will your players.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my advice would be, don't worry too much about if it's good or bad. Worry about doing something that you will enjoy and make you happy, because you are also a player and your enjoyment and happiness are also important.
Of course, yes. No one's Matt Mercer except for Matt Mercer. No one's Brennan except for Brennan. Yeah, 99.9% of people are doing this at a table with their buddies. Just have fun.
Yeah, and I guarantee that Matt Mercer and Brennan Lee Mulligan and Abria Iyengar and all of those high-profile, amazing GMs shit themselves a little bit before each and every session. I guarantee. I think it's like in the first few pages of the DMG that, like in the how to DM section, like one of the few first things it says is like, there are rules, the rules are here. If the rules aren't working for you, throw them out the window. And as GMs, 100% that's what you gotta do. Like, there is a moment at which the rules start hindering your fun instead of supporting it. And if you reach that moment, you take that rule book, you throw it out the window, and you do the cool thing.
There you go. You heard it. You heard it from me, and you heard it from them. So, rule of cool. Don't sweat it. Coming from A.
Yeah, don't sweat it.
Okay, we have one question remaining, and we'll see what the dice say. It might be going out with a whimper with a bang, but I'm sure you'll make it interesting nonetheless.
I guess we shall see. So last die, I think, unless Nered pulls some extra questions out of somewhere.
Yeah.
These are purple resin with gold glitter in them, and I love my glitter.
It's like clockwork-esque. I mean, from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, it's actually runes. Like, this is a Viking compass. I'm not sure if you can see it.
Not quite.
Come on, adjust yourself, camera. God damn you. Oh, got it. Okay,
I'm gonna teach you like a quick trick. Put the dice around the hand.
Okay, go.
Boom. See? Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah. So yeah,
okay.
There you go. We got a picture of it.
It's themed after like future seeing runes.
Gotcha.
But I rolled a 4, so I think we already had a 4, right?
Yeah, we did have a 4. That one was in already.
Okay, let's try again. 6? Have we done 6?
No, we have not done 6. This might be a really good question to end on, because it kind of complements what you just said. For number 6, what's your least favorite part about GMing?
Honestly, my least favorite part about GMing is that I don't get to play.
I know, like
I don't get to play at the same time.
Yeah.
Do you mean in like a specific area of GMing? Or?
There's no like wrong way to answer this question. The not being a player at your own table, or is that what you meant by it? Or like
kind of. I can't like if I could have like 2 me's and one of them is DMing and one of them is just playing without knowing what the DMing one is doing, and then I can just have the best of both worlds, Awesome. But since that's not possible, I guess I'll just have to content myself by living vicariously through my players. There are things that you can do when you're a player that you can't do when you're a GM, right? Like, when you're a player, you can go all out, and all of your crazy, mad, insane, like, you can ruin your GM's day.
Yeah.
I mean this in the most loving way. Like, there's nothing I love more than when my players pull something that I have to spend 10 minutes figuring out what to do with. But as a GM, you can't do that to your players because you have all the power. I can just be like, a meteor falls from the universe and strikes the planet and everybody dies.
Everyone dies.
I have all the power. And because I have all the power, I can't do the things that as a player I have the most fun doing, which is ruining my GM's day.
Oh, you're that player, okay.
Not in a bad way.
Not in a bad way.
Like, because I play at my home game, like, there's 5 of us and 4 of us are also GMs. So it's like that thing that I was saying earlier about someone cooking for you and the love of creating something for someone else. Mm-hmm. We all love dealing with these kinds of challenges. So we play at a table where each and every one of us is always thinking of like, what's a creative thing that I can do with this? And what's a way that I can put the GM on a back foot and like make us have like a fun experience together. And again, I do that to my players, but I can't do that to the extent that I would to a GM because I have too much power. If I did that, I would ruin their fun. Yeah. And I cannot do that. Well, I wish I could go all out without ruining people's fun, Well,
no hope to the forever DMs. The least favorite part of being a GM is not being a player, according to Ace.
Mm-hmm.
Just kidding. Well, yeah. So, thank you so much. You have slain the interview with no failures. Swift.
All right, Nered's viewers, let's get to know each other. I'm Ez, your new host. And let's all say goodbye to Nered, who has had a long and fruitful service in this channel.
A whole 5 videos total, maybe. Yeah, it's gonna be A's D&D from now on. How about I'll switch. I'll do a switcheroo at the last moment and say, is there anything you want to promote? Anything you have going on? Anything you want to like shout out, or anything you want to promote? Your page or anyone else?
My current game of Curse of Strahd, Lady Ravenloft, is looking for a 5th player, so if any of this sounded like fun and you would like to sit at my table, we are looking to fill out that last spot. And, keep an eye on my DM page, and something may come up that you will like very soon.
And of course, we'll have a link to their page in the description for the adventure, and Aze's GM page right in the description. I'll probably pop it somewhere up here. And it's money well spent. And yeah, I would say I don't run Curse of Strahd, and there's nobody else that could probably do it justice compared to them.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm definitely playing favorites because I really enjoyed your rendition. I'm sure everyone has their own way of doing it, but yeah, thank you so much, Aze, for humoring me for an hour and some change. what some great advice, some great stories, good laughs, and
Was a
generally
pleasure.
good
Thank you
talk.
for having me, and thank you for the lovely things you've said. It really meant a lot.
No worries, no worries. It's all sincere. Thank you again, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Signing off. Goodbye.